Today, inshallah, we'll go with lecture number 3, very easy one, inshallah, bidnillahi ta'ala. Lecture 3, we'll talk about basically introduction to data structure. What is meant by data structure? And I think we covered most of the material last 2 meetings when we talk about data structure, the concepts of data structures, what is the main points of data structure, okay? And then we will talk about 3 things: layer stacks, queues, and linked list. Anyone ever got an idea about stack, queues, linked list? Because it's the main topic today. Anyone?
Yes.
Yalla, give us an idea. Stack, what do you mean by stack?
First in, last out.
Okay, first in, last out. Excellent. Queue?
First in, first out.
First in, first out. Linked list?
Allahu A'lam.
Allahu A'lam. Thank you very much. Okay, he said first in, first out. Okay, and he said also first in, last out. والأخير الله أعلم. Okay, now when we talk about data structure, we talk about how are we going to organize our data based on certain characteristics. Example. When I send the file to print, what happens? Usually, it will be sent somewhere, so you will have the name of the file and it is under processing, printing. So if I send print, go to PowerPoint, print, go to Microsoft Word, print, go to whatsoever, print. So you will have 5, 6 tasks located in the printer, اللي هو management device or application or whatsoever. Then it will be printed one after one. So that is first in, first out, which is queue. Like now you printed paintbrush, you printed PowerPoint, then you printed Word. So which one first sent? It will be printed based on queue, tabur, line, first in, first out. Sometimes, like when you are in, like you are browsing, let's say, right here. So if you went to programs, from programs, you went to view details, and from view details, you went to advising plan. Now, when I want to leave out, what will happen? Is it first in, first out, or first in, last out? Think about it. Now I am here. I need to go back. So I want to leave that page. So are we following first in, first out, or first in, last out? Anyone? First in, last out. The first one, it will be last. So now exactly. First in, last out. So it is like stack. It's like stack. When I say stack, it's like, I want it to be a little bit clear. So the first one I entered is Arab Open University main. Then from there, I clicked academics. So academics right now is here, academics. Then I clicked FCS. So now FCS is here. From FCS, I clicked program. So now program is here. From program, I clicked advise plan. So that will be right here. Now, I cannot go and exit from here. If it is structured like stack. So I have to exit here, then exit here, then exit here, then exit here. Then first in, it will be last out. First in, last out. That is the idea of the stack. Last one, linked list. Basically, it's something little bit different. If we say, I will travel from Jeddah to Riyadh, then Dammam, then I will go to Tokyo. So now, that is my first destination, that is my last destination. So they will be linked like that. So I'll show you the details. Now, هنا I cannot remove BB anytime. I must first remove that one. Then I can go and remove that one for here. I cannot remove that one. I have to remove from here first. Then. In linked list, I can remove from anywhere I want. Example, I change my mind. I will not go to Dammam. Just Jeddah, Riyadh, then Tokyo. Simple. So I will take that link and point it to T. So J, then R, Riyadh, then T. So how about Dammam? Dammam, it is somewhere in the buffer. It can be deleted later on. But now D has no place in my linked list. So I can delete from anywhere. I can add from also anywhere. That's basically, and I wanted to start like that, so at least you get an idea of what is meant by stack, queues, and linked lists. Questions so far? We are still in slide number 1. Any questions? If it's clear, then we can go now very fast. في صوت مزعج. يعني هي إما أنا المزعج أوكي مستحي تقول دقيقة خلينا أعمل Is it still there?
يا دكتور
الصوت مزعج لا زال ولا راح؟
هذا صوت مزعج.
الحمد لله إذا مش من عندي يعني. طيب أنا أول جبت be sure. Okay. Bismillah. Since you have no questions, let's start. Okay. I talked about that last meeting. الله يبارك فيك جزاك الله خير والله كده رفعت معنوياتي او رفعتي معنوياتي. Okay. Applications, programs, read data. Input. تمام. Store and process. We said process. Okay. IPO. Then there will be an output. Last week we saw that analysis of the program, which is actually a process. It says here application. So our life, okay, and especially in applications, in programs, all the time there is an input, there is a process, there is an output, all the time. So what type of input, what type of output, that will be decided. It could be numbers, it could be characters, it could be strings, it could be dates, it could be any type that we can or accepted types. So we talked about that last week. Basically an idea. Then we talked also last week that you have two programs, they are doing the same function, will give you the same output, but what is the difference between the two? One of them is slow, one of them is fast. One of them, it's consuming a lot of space in the memory, in your hard disk, one of them is not. So that is the efficiency. Both of them correct, one of them efficient, one of them is not. That is the idea. And we talked about that last week. كل ده introduction. It's still in the introduction. Now, data structure mainly responsible for organizing data. So we will have efficient programs. No more, no less. How to organize data. عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. ما في مشكلة، الله معك، الله معك، الله معك إن شاء الله خير يا رب. Okay. طبعا the reason we are looking more efficient programs. If we have more powerful computers, then we will have for sure more complex applications. And if we have more complex applications, of course, we will have more calculations. This is the game, okay? And not necessarily all our programs are complex, needs more calculation. Most of the programs actually is very simple one. Most of the programs, very simple one, unless it requires a very advanced techniques or something like that. Any organization for a collection of records, a data structure, can be searched, processed in any order or modified. Well, inshallah, that's where we will concentrate on such things. The choice of data structure, who will decide? Now, if I talk about stack, queue, linked list, and inshallah, next week or next meeting, we might talk about graph, about tree. So, which one is suitable for my application? The choice of data structure algorithm can make the difference between program running in a few seconds or many days. A reason, organization. Because when you organize your data easy, you can get it easy. Questions so far? Okay, so back to last week. Solution is said to be efficient if it solves the problem within its resources constraints, space and time. Small and fast. That's the idea of efficiency. طبعا there are some other factors, easy, simple, can be understood by anyone and so on. Like mainly they talk about space and time. The cost of solution is the amount of resources that the solution consumes. Last week we talked about the big O. And we will see, inshallah, as I promised you, so many applications, so many examples of the big O, inshallah. How to select data structure, analyze the problem, determine the resources you need or the constraints that you need to meet, then determine the basic operations that must be supported, add, delete, update, quantify the resource constraints for each operation, last, select a data structure. Is it stack? Is it queue? Is it linked list? Is it tree? Is it graph? And so on. Abstract data type, ADT. Most of the languages, like Java and other languages, support what is called abstract data type. So now you will study today stack. Is it available? Yeah, it's available. Built in. All what you need, just use them. And just declare it or go ahead and start. So ADT, اللي هي abstract data type, definition for data type solely in terms of set of values and set of operations. So what are the values accepted? What are the operations accepted? Or operations performed on the values. Okay, when we talk about data type, all of us know that data types in computer languages, like when I say integer, that is a data type. So you remember في database مثلا في Java, you say مثلا int X. So what does it mean? Now the data type of X is integer. You cannot enter double. Abstract, you can say like summary, conclusion. Abstract usually give you اللي هي يعني يسموها القيمة مش المطلقة اللي هي القيمة الأساسية. يعني الآن هنا X integer هذه abstract. Okay, so now what applies القيمة الأساسية ل X? It should be a whole number. هذا شرط هنا. الvalues must be whole numbers. مثلا you can say X equal 5. خلاص that is اللي هي الداتا type of that one. في abstract data type اللي هي هذه definitions added. So when you say that X is stack, what does it mean now? When you say X is stack, it means it will take that shape. It will follow that restriction. It can add, yes, but from where? From the top, every time from the top. It can delete, yes, every time from also the top. هنا العكس. It can add all the time from the top, from the last, from the rear. من الأخير في الطابور, add from the last. It can remove, yes, but from the front. هذه هي الابستراكت داتا تايب. الشيء الأساسي يعني. كلير اللي سأل؟ Is it clear؟ وضحت شوية إلى حد ما؟ طيب each editing operations ممتاز is defined by its inputs and outputs. As I told you now, add is an operation. What are the inputs? What are the outputs? Encapsulation, hide implementation details. أعتقد هذه more في object oriented programming. We talked about in encapsulation that you will just declare something but hide the details. Leave it somewhere else. Leave it somewhere else. That structure is a physical implementation of ADT, abstract data type. Each operation associated with ADT is implemented by one or more subroutines. طبعا في examples حاعطيك الآن بس يعني اصبروا معي شوية. Be patient with me. You will see examples of ADT. Data structure usually refers to organization again and again and again. This is very important. Organization. For data in the main memory, file structure is an organization for data on preference storage. So, how do you organize your data in memory? Data structure. You saved file in hard disk. How it is organized there, that is a file structure. Data structure is a representation of logical relationship exists between individuals. Relationship. Now, what is the relationship between Jeddah and Riyadh? What is the relation between Riyadh and Dammam? What is the relation between Dammam and Tokyo? A relation that is pre-item of R, and so on. So what is next? What is next? What is next? That is the relation. Same for that one, same for that one. That is the relation between how we deal with them. Data structure is a way of organizing all data items that consider not only the elements stored, but also their relation. So yani, when you say two things in the stack, in the top of each other, that is a way of organizing. Now, is there a relation between them? Yes, a relation that I cannot delete that one before I delete that one. Must be like that. Must be like that. Data items have both logical and physical form. Example, we just give you an example. Integers in mathematical senses. For example, you have an integer number, you can add, you can delete, you can. But if you have strings that contains another type of processing. So I will not add characters. يعني مثلا أحمد وعلي. I cannot say أحمد plus علي. Can I say that? هذا a good question. Can I say أحمد plus علي? Yes, no. And I say yes, I can. Can I say Ahmed plus Ali? I
Yes.
can say
Yes.
5. I can say 5 plus 7, so it's equal 12. Can I say Ahmed plus Ali?
Yes.
It will be Ahmad Ali.
Shukran. Thank you. You are concatenating. You are merging. That's why in Java language, when you say Ahmed plus Ali, so هنا the result will be 12. Here, the result will be, as our brother said, Ahmed Ali. Concatenation. ذكرتوها الآن system that out. Yes, exactly. So depending on the type you will get. طبعا later on there are some more. Are we talking about 16-bit? Are we talking about 32-bit? Is there an overflow? If you said my number is integer, so what is the maximum number? So you will reach to somewhere and you cannot add any more. So you must go, if you are a programmer, go for long int. So it can take more and more. That's in M105, مادة M105. M105, there is a table, if you remember, it tells you strings, bytes, floats, مثلا doubles, and so on. And which one?
Data type.
بالضبط. Exactly. Data structure also affects the design of both structural and functional aspects. All the time, our programs is an algorithm. Write a program that will add two numbers. We saw it last week. Input x, input y, sum equal x plus y, print sum. So that's an algorithm. Do I need data structure? Yes, why not? Example, input x. Input y. Sum x plus y. Print sum. So that is an algorithm. I can now use any computer language and convert it to a program. So again, program is an algorithm. How about data structure? Now I am just using variables. Can I use array? Yes, no.
Yes. Variables
Yes.
as array. Yes.
Exactly. So array is a data structure. Array is a data structure. So if instead of using x and y, no, I can declare an array. So I can take any number, مثلا I 10 numbers, 5 numbers, and then just say add x1. طبعا هنا I'm not testing you, ولكن I'm sure that all of you will remember what is meant by x0. Plus, خلاص, no need for y now. I will say x1. So what does it mean now? I am dealing with array that is the first item, that is the second item, plus. So I am using data structure. Yes, because it starts from index 0. You are right. You are absolutely right. So the algorithm is a step-by-step procedure, and all of you know that. Then a data structure plus algorithm. A data structure is a container, no more, no less. It's a container. So x is a variable, container. Stack, container. Queue, container. Linked list, container. Just to store that. Then I need the logic and the control. Do I need if? Do I need loops? Do I need مثلا ايش سمينا احنا هذه database and so on. Depends on the case. هذا كله لازلنا introduction very general. So the algorithm is a set of instructions written to carry out certain tasks using a data structure if it is needed, if it is applicable. And also relationship between the items. That's why we need to take care about selecting appropriate data. وهذه إن شاء الله you will see, and while we are working the semester, you will see that okay, this is the best one is need tree, that one graph, that one it could be stack, it could be queue. Algorithms associated with data structure, Functions of data structure, most commonly used operations of data structure, creating, inserting, deleting, updating, selecting, searching, sorting, merging, using index like most of you now said when I say I need an index for item X, X0, so that is index. And we'll come to most of it, inshallah. Common data structure, list, set, tuple, dictionary, stack, queue, linked list. That's what we'll take to inshallah in this lecture. Then tree, heap, hash table, priority queues, that will be inshallah next lectures. Let's start with stack. In stack. Now, more details. Stack, regardless of the shape. When you add item, it will be added from the top. We don't use the terminology add. We use push. Remember that in the exams, you will not see add, you will see push. So push it means add item to stack. So every time you will add from the top. Then you can تفضل. all of you ولا الأخت الكريمة بس؟ all of you.
صوت تمام.
صوت ممتاز يا دكتور.
ممتاز بس صوت ممتاز.
دكتور عندي سؤال بس لو سمحت.
حبيبي.
لاست اوت صحيح؟
فيرست ان لا هذه كيو هي
هذيك
لاست ان فيرست اوت اخر واحده دخلت اول واحده خرجت. ايوه الفيرست ان فيرست اوت.
شكرا.
انا احاول اتكلم بهدوء اختي برضه ان شاء الله ما اسرع، لكن البقيه قالوا الصوت تمام معناه يمكن من جهتك المشكله. اوكي so using push instead of add, using pop instead of remove او delete. So you will add اللي هي push from the top, you will remove او delete which is pop from the top. Okay, now the stack. والله ما اعتقد ان المايك يعني هو مع الهيدسيت تبعي مع بعض together، لكن كده الان ان شاء الله. Okay, the stack ADT stores arbitrary objects. Okay, anything of data. يمكن دي ليه عندها او شيء الله. Okay, insertion and deletion. This is very important. Insertion and deletion follow the last in first out. Last in, if you enter something last in, it should be removed first. Last in first out. Insertion and deletion, last in first out. Okay, we use push, which is means inserting. We use pop instead of removing. Now, you need to remember that one because for multiple choice, the true false, they ask something like that. For example, top is returning the number of elements stored. No. That is the length. So how many items in the stack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you say len stack, it will give you the number of elements. Top returns the last inserted item. So you will know what is the last inserted item without removing it. Is empty. Just to check, to indicate whether no elements are stored or not. True, false. الانسر هنا boolean. Boolean true, false. It will true or yes. True, false, yes. هذه ببساطة الستاك. Exam question. Expect. I'm saying expect. أنا والله I'm not the one who is responsible for that one. لكن expect something like that. Okay. Now you have an empty stack. The name of the stack is S. So if you said S dot push, is there returned value? No. What is the content of the stack? 5 only, because I pushed 1. Next, S dot push 3. So it means that I added, معلش ثواني بس. Sorry. Okay, so now I pushed number 3. So now in my stack, 2 things, اللي هي 5 and 3. Question, very quickly. If I need to remove number 5, can I do that or not?
S
Yes.
dot Bob 5.
Any other answers? Can I remove number 5?
Yes, by using
Bob,
First,
remove
we have to remove 3.
the first item.
Exactly. I cannot move 5. That's why be careful in the exam, because
Why?
they might bring you something like that. S push 5. So now خلينا أعطيكم example. يمكن هنا الشكل كده غريب. When I say push 5, it means now the first item in the stack is 5. Next, push 3. It means now I pushed from the top. We agreed. Stack from the top. So now it's like 2 boxes. كأنه صندوقين فوق بعض. 2 boxes over each other. So 3 now is here. Can I move 5? No. In the stack? No. تفضل.
I said no.
No, it cannot. Next. Len S. The return value is 2 based on what we just said. Len returns the number of elements in the store. They are very easy, by the way, very easy. Inshallah, with exams, inshallah, it will be also very easy. Okay, so now len S 2 is the return value, no change in the contents. No change in the contents. S dot Bob. What is the output? What will happen?
5. It will remove 3.
Remove
Remove 3 or 5?
3. Remove
3.
Okay, here you need to be careful. You need to be careful. See what it says. Return value is 3. It will tell you we removed 3. We removed 3. The return value is 3. Okay, and now yes, it is removed. So the content now it's only 5. This is very, very, very important. It will affect so many questions. You will see it, inshallah. S dot Bob 3. It will remove 3. Yes, that's true.
دكتور سؤال.
مرحبا.
It will print also.
No, unless you say print. If you
دكتور
say
ممكن سؤال؟
تفضل حبيبي.
ليش اخترنا بوب بدون ما نذكر ال3؟
Because automatically it's supposed to remove the top regardless. لازم تحذف هذه. That is the top now.
اسمح لي دكتور بمداخلة بسيطة.
مرحبا.
جوابا يعني على الأخ اللي سأل قبل شوي ليش طلعت 3.
تفضل.
البوب هي بالعادة أساسا يعني الاستراكشر تبعتها اللي هي لين -1، فراح تعطينا اللي هي لاست اندكس. فبالحالة هاي يطبع عندنا اللي هو رقم 3 هو لاست اندكس.
ايوه بس انه ما حتطبع الا اذا قلت كذا.
صحيح.
print s.bob. Yes, it will remove and print, but it will return the value. You are انت صح. Okay, so that is the answer. Next, s.is empty. We just saw is empty just to check if there are elements or not. فقط لا غير. So the answer is false. No, it is not empty, but stack is not affected. Still the contents 5. No affect. Just answer. يعني فقط لا غير. Next is dot Bob. It will return 5. That is the item that will be removed. Now stack is empty. Stack is empty. Next, is empty? Yes, true. It is empty. Bob, error, because no elements to be removed. خلاص أعتقد الأيديا كده إن شاء الله clear. So you can push 7, 9. So now you have 7. Then you push 9. Then you have 9. With the same idea until you reach the end. An example, you have it in your slides, so no need to continue as long as the idea is clear. Any questions regarding the example? Any questions? أي شيء ما هو واضح? Anything not clear? Everything is alright? ما شاء الله تبارك الله. Okay.
Yes, that's the question.
تفضلي. Go ahead.
About the length, like if I want to count the number of items in a list, does it start from 0 or from 1?
Okay, if empty 0, but now since you have 2, it will tell you 2. Here, len is 3 because we have 7, 9, 4. So depending on how many elements inside that stack. اوكي حتعد لك عدد العناصر فقط يا غير number of elements.
يعني اللينث مختلف عن الاندكس لان الاندكس يبدا من 0.
No, index no. اوكي هذا question. That's طبعا language. مثلا انت في الجافا وفي اغلب اللغات اوكي that is number 1, that is number 2, that is number 3, that is number. So how many elements do we have? 4. Index start from 0, 1, 2, 3. So we cannot say we have 3 elements. No, we have 4 elements. 0, 1, 2, 3. But that is the location of each one. So I need to print 4. So all what I will do depending on the language, print مثلا print the name is n. So print n 4 or 3?
3.
Exactly. So it will print the element number 4. That's different issue طبعا. لكن كلمة len just return the number of elements. Just return the number of elements. Okay. What applications of stacks? That just examples. يمكن هذه أحسن واحدة أنا في نظري. In my opinion, that is the best one. Page visited history in the page. So when you visit page after page after page after page, so you can return previous. Be depending on that one. Undo, by the way. Undo برضو nice example. undo. يعني مثلا you have a word. You have a word. So I
You delete by mistake. Oh,
exactly. I change the color. I made it center. I made it bold, italic, underline. So now what is the last one? Last one.
Underlined.
Underline. So when I undo, it will remove. So now just imagine it. Just imagine it. If we have stack, we did several editing, processing. Last one was underline. So now when I undo, شوفوا لاحظوها شايفينها هذا stack. This is a stack. Last one was underline. Can I, for example, remove just the color? No, you cannot. طبعا حتقول لي استاذ شيخان اقدر من هنا. Yes, تقدر من هنا. So what does it mean now? You added color. It's not now underline. It's the color you change. So now when I undo, it is a stack now. Remove the last one from the top. Remove the last one from the top. Remove the last one. Remove last one. Remove last one. Remove and so on. So that is the good example of stack. أعتقد كفاية كده على الأمثلة وأني مثال we can apply indirect application data structure for algorithms components of other structure data structure على حسب لكن أنا في نظري that those are the best one. Next, how can we apply it؟ يعني الآن if I ask you to do a program طبعا you don't need but if I ask you to write a program applying the stack, so a simple way of implementing stack using list. The best way. Array ممكن it could be. أنا myself when I studied the data structure long time ago, I used to use arrays. Now, how to add elements from like pref. So if you said that is 0, so I will start from here. If you say no, that is 0, I will add from there. طبعا depends on where is your index, and all what you need, keep track of the index. Which one is the top? فقط لا غير. أنت programmer and you can decide which one is the top one. Now, in my case, هنا, where is the top? In my case, where is the top?
4.
Which is this.
Index.
Now, if I add 1, so that's not the top anymore. The new one is the top, which is number أي حاجة 7 مثلا. هنا same idea. That is the top. If I add 1, so that's not the top anymore. Now this is became the top, which is number whatsoever. Performance and limitations. Let n be the number of elements in the stack. So the space used is big O of n. Each operation runs in a time big O of 1. Do you remember last week when you say print x, that is big O of 1? فاكرين ولا لا? Because it is one operation done one time only. So if you push, so that is big O of. How about if I need to print the stack? To print the stack. Big O of what? Of what? اللي هي n. Depending on n. N could be 1, n could be 1 million. N could be 1, it could be 1 million. So depending on that one, so print. So it will be repeated n times. That is the number of elements. اللي هي it could be obtained from n. طبعا احنا when we talk about big O, we talk general. We don't care about the number itself. يعني. We don't care about the number itself. Whether 1 or a million. طبعا you don't need to memorize that one. Just take an idea. أنا عندي على فكرة بعض البروجرامز في الستاك والكيو. If you want, I can send it to you. Done with the stack. Questions? Done with stacks. Any questions for the stack before we go on?
دكتور أنا عندي.
تفضلي.
اوكي في اثنين تكلموا. اوكي بخصوص الدي كيو اللي هو
لا
الفيرست
ما بدي تتكلمي عن هذا جديد لسه عم ستارت يعني. عندك اذا في الكيو اسالي عادي. انت سؤالك
ايوه انا اتكلم عن الدي كيو اللي اخذناه في الاكزامبل. الدي كيو
ايوه
ايوه الدي كيو لما نكتب اسم الليست بعدين نحط الميثود دي كيو يحذف لي اول قيمه صح؟
يس انت صح. اوكي
طيب
يو ار رايت. سو خليني اسالك الان دي كيو هنا اد ولا ديليت؟ ركزي.
ديليت.
ما شاء الله تبارك الله 100%. So in the queue you need to be careful like stack. The one who arrive first, the item added first should be deleted first. زي طابور. Okay, you are in a queue في الادميشن مثلا and registration office, so you arrive to the university the first one, so your number is 1, so that's the queue. Who's next, who's next, who's next, who's next? So first in first out. We use DQ for removing, for deleting we use NQ. So you will add from the end. في الطابور دائما تضيف من الاخير. add from the end, add from the end, add from the end, add. And when you remove or DQ, you remove from the first, from the front. Bas, that is the only difference between the two. Other than that, it's almost the same. It's almost the same. Insertion and deletion, very important. First in, first out. First in, first out. All the time, insertion will be from the rear. من الأخير. And removals, deleting, including from the front. From the front. NQ means insert. Fill stack, push means insert. DQ means remove. In the stack, bob or bob. Again, some other operations first. First returns the element in the front without removing. Len, same idea. Return the number of elements. Is empty, same idea. Check whether there is an element or not, or there are elements or not. شفتوا؟ Almost the same. Almost the same. Different. نفس الفكرة ما أخبيها عليكم هذه خلاص لأنه الأيديا clear now. If you have q.nq5, so I will add 5. nq3, I will add 3. Go back to the example of stack, push, push. len q2. dq, it will return 5. طيب هناك كم عمل return الأول؟ تتذكروا؟ bob 3. So it removed 3. In the queue, it will remove 5 because 5 arrived first, added first. DQ 5. So it will be removed. 3 is still there. Empty, false, DQ 3, the rest is almost the same. Questions? أعتقد the idea of stack is very clear. طيب خلي بس يعني repeat. Let's say that we have stack and queue at the same time. Now when I say في الstack, that is a queue. Okay, when I say add, okay, 5, so that is 5 in this queue اللي هي push, وهنا add 5 to the queue which is DQ, عفوا NQ 5. No difference. Next. NQ3. So I will NQ3. So 3 will come here. First stack will come here. It seems no difference. So push 5, push 3. NQ5, NQ3. Now, len, same, no difference. Next, DQ. So, in the stack, which is Bob actually, like in the stack, it will remove 3. In the queue, it will remove 5 because last in, first out. First in, last out. هذا the only difference between the two. Clear? The one who asked, repeat. Clear? ممتاز. Okay. The best example is the printer. When you send print, so it will be in queue. The first file you send to be printed will be printed first. That is the best example. طبعا in examples with the same idea, accepted. In example with the same idea, accepted. Like waiting list. Accepted. You have a program that will take only 10 patients only, okay? Someone called and said, I need to meet the doctor. Visit the doctor. The system said full, but we will put you in the waiting list. We cannot promise. So first in, first out in the waiting list. Okay, multi-programming, same idea.
Doctor, I have a question about the big O.
يلا تفضلي.
الخوارزمية حقت البيج او هو لما يكون ثابت تكون اسرع تنفيذ، لكن لما تكون انت ربيع تكون يعني تاخذ وقت اكثر. ف الاو ان حتكون اسرع من الاو واحد ولا الاو واحد اسرع؟
الاو واحد اسرع.
الاو واحد اسرع. طيب شكرا.
Yes. يعني when I say print x big of 1. Like when I say for I equal 1, تمام? I less than n, I plus. So now, depending on the value of n, how many times will be printed? I don't know, depending on n. So it will be big O of n. If you have 2, 4, it will be n squared. So it will be depending on the value of n or the value of the second loop. الانر loop والouter loop. انت صح. Okay. Use the following 3 instance variables. Data is reference to list instances with a fixed capacity, size, integer, representing the current number of elements. هذا طبعا في البايثون ان شاء الله حناخذ بعض الاكزامبلز later on طبعا مش اليوم. Front is an integer that represents the index within the data. وهي تقريبا يعني نفس اللي ذكرناه هنا. Nothing new. شايفينها؟ هذه نفس اللي ذكرناه. Nothing new. هذه في الابلكيشن نفسها ان شاء الله. السايز اللي هي مقابل لن. وهذا example هنا برضه again maybe you don't need to memorize it but at least you will get the idea. هنا شايفينها is empty. Just check if what is مثلا the top. هل في رقم؟ لا, you can do that. You can do that. Linked list. In the linked list, you have an items. Jeddah, Riyadh, Dammam, Tokyo. That's number 1. Number 2, the first one is the head. So you will start from here. In some cases, you might see the head somewhere else. But leave it. That abnormal case. So now each item has 2 data, which is, what is the value? H, 5, Riyadh, Africa, Jordan, any value. And a pointer, pointing, referring to what? فهنا it's very clear now, H is pointing to E. So we need to know two things, the data itself and the pointer. Okay, H pointing to E, E pointing to A pointing to P. P pointing to what? What does it mean null?
No value.
No value, empty, nothing. So it's pointing.
دكتور يعني الدوت هذه هي اللينك.
Yes, exactly. Null. So it's pointing to null. So nothing comes after B. طبعا في cases we'll see it إن شاء الله. هذه اللي اسمها circular. Okay. B pointing to H. حنجي لها في حاجة. Leave it now. So that is basically the idea of linked list. Linked list. Single linked list is a concrete data structure consisting of sequence of nodes. Sequence of nodes. Starting from the head, which is the first one. There are some abnormal cases. You will find the head somewhere else. Okay, so you will start from there, from the somewhere else. Each node needs two things: the element and the link. Linking our pointer to the next one. Element next. For each one. Last one has no next, so it is null. So it is null, empty. So far, so good? Any questions so far? Excellent. Now, inserting at the head. طبعا هم جابوا برضو example لكن اختاروا مدن أخرى. It's okay, no problem. Rome, Seattle, Toronto. So we have three cities now. The first one is Rome, then Seattle, then Toronto. Next, they added Baltimore from the beginning. So it has to be now before Rome, which is the first one, which is the head. So now, since you added from the beginning and you want the head to be changed, just change the pointer head. So that is the head. Baltimore, Rome, Seattle, Toronto. In the same way, now you can delete from anywhere, you can insert from anywhere. Allocate new node, so I have new node. Insert new element, I inserted Baltimore, new element. Have new node point to old head, it will point to the old head. Then update the head. So Rome is not the head anymore, it became now the new one, which is Baltimore. That the steps of making new item, that item will be the head. طبعا لاحظوا معايا, if I am adding somewhere else, no need for these two steps. That one will be added to the one between them. يعني I need to add between Rome and Seattle. So what will happen here? Can you give me the steps based on that one? If I need to add, هذا exam question. If I need to add between Rome and Seattle, can you give me the steps? Rome and Seattle.
Only first two steps.
I will allocate new. Yes, agree with you. I inserted the new Riyadh. So now Riyadh is supposed to be between Rome and Seattle. I cannot leave it like that. So what should I do?
I have to point it between Rome and Seattle.
Thank you very much. So you will have the pointer of Rome to Riyadh and Riyadh to Seattle. This is very important. So it will be 2 more also steps, but this time it's not a matter of head. It's a matter of who is previous, who is next. So I can now add Riyadh. So I just take the pointer of Riyadh to Seattle. Rome to Riyadh. يعني حتكون something like that. This is very important. Very important. That will show you that you understood the whole idea. هي كانت أول Rome. Then Seattle. طبعا أنا بس مختصر كده. Then Torrent. Now I need to add Riyadh between Rome and Seattle. So create a new one. The first one. Allocate new node. Insert the new element, which is Riyadh. Okay. I need to point Riyadh to somewhere, not to the old head. No, I need to point Riyadh now to Seattle. شايفينها كيف؟ Then Rome will be deleted from Seattle and pointed. لو نقدر نسويها كده بطريقة فنية. Yes. وامسح هذه. اتذكر زمان كان في مساحه. Yes. That is the solution. That is the solution. Add, insert the element, or process in pointers. So Riyadh should be to Seattle. Rome should be to Riyadh. Questions?
Should we delete Rome?
Yes, you can if you want. If you delete Rome now, what will happen? You need to be careful. Yalla, how can you delete Rome? Rome now is the head. Rome now is the head. If you delete Rome, all what you need, just remove that one. But you have a problem. Who is the head? So you can move the head to Riyadh. Move the head to Riyadh. أعتقد أنا ماني غلطان في مثال عليه. أعتقد. بس هذه هي الايديا. That is the idea. والله أنت كلامك صح. Remove the head. I need to remove Baltimore. See what will happen now. Just remove the link or move the head to Rome. So far so good. Inshallah the course is not difficult. All the time will be that. But think about how can we deal with something. Yani if they said add element after Toronto. Now Toronto to what? To null. How can I add an item after Toronto at the end?
دكتور بس before we delete we have to point the head first.
Yes.
This is what I understand.
To be sure, to be sure. شوف لاحظ هنا أنا الآن يعني if you remove Rome you might lose that one. So it's better to add first. So it will be 2 pointing to some. It's okay, accepted by the way. If 2 pointing to 1, accepted. But I remove that one, then remove it. You need to be careful about that one. So don't remove, then, for example, point the head. No, point the head, then remove that one. So you'll be sure that will not be lost. It will not be lost. أعتقد كده الأمور واضحة وطيبة. إن شاء الله أأمل ذلك يعني بإذن الله تعالى. تحبوا تاخذوا بريك ولا كونتينيو؟
لا continue دكتور. We have more.
ممتاز. Allocate new node. نفس الفكرة قلناها قبل شوية. If I add one, لاحظوا النل الآن اللي كانت after Toronto, it will be after Zurich. After Zurich. So you can add وupdate اللي هي update. طبعا in the exam in general أنا they will just test your understanding. How can if I need to remove الآن Zurich زي ما تفضل الأخ الكريم. الآن that is the tail, that is the last one, that is the null. So I need to update it. So it will be moved to the second one, اللي هي second last one, اللي هي that one, Toronto again, and change it to null, change it to null. We talked before that we can implement stack using list. Linked list is the best example of that one. طبعا هنا you need to be careful. If you say that this is stack, but using linked list, you must follow the rules of the stack. Because now single linked list is just what? A container. فقط لا غير الداتا structure. لكن the original one is stack. So if you said stack, so now you cannot delete from anywhere. You cannot add from anywhere. Got the idea? يعني don't deal with it as a linked list. No, it is a stack. Because you are implementing stack with or using list. So stack is the most important for us. So you cannot delete from anywhere. You cannot remove from anywhere. Questions?
دكتور
تفضلي.
ايش هذا الكلاس هلا اللي بالسلايد موجود بيلت ان بالبايثون ولا احنا لازم نسويه؟
لا اغلبها بيلت ان، اغلبها بيلت ان. بس هي ايش الفكره الان؟ لاحظي مثلا انت اكزامبل هنا شايفه بوش؟ شايفه بوش؟
ايوه.
Add element to the top of the stack. That's what we said. If I have a stack, 1 after 1, that is 1, that is 2. I need to add 3, it will be pushed here. See now what will happen here. Head, because now I am using linked list. So head, self node, self head. Create a link, اسمه ايش? Whatsoever. Now, size will be added 1 because I have 2, now I have 3. All what you did is you just added a new one, you added a new one, and it became the head, the new head. So +1. If you remove ما ادري اذا موجوده بوش هنا، خلينا نشوف بوش. شايفين بوش؟ لا بوب عفوا.
موجوده تحت.
شايفه بوب؟ بالضبط.
أيوة.
شوفي بوب، هي ايش حصل في بوب هنا؟ -1. لانه هي كانت referring to the first one. How many elements? 5. So now when you remove, it will be -1. في الاد it will be +1. فهي الفكره واحده، الفكره واحده for both. Implement the queue as a link. You're welcome. Implement the queue as a linked list. Same idea. You will apply the rules of queue. That is just tool, just a container. That's it. Like in this case, you will apply. So you cannot enqueue from anywhere. You cannot dequeue from anywhere. You must apply the rules of the queue. First in, first out. Inserting from the end, removing from the top أو الفرونت. نفس الفكرة. Space used big of and depending on number of elements. Any operation big O of 1. نفس الستاك ما في فرق. ونفس الفكرة هنا على فكرة. في ال NQ you will add 1. في DQ you will -1. DQ -1.
دكتور ممكن سؤال؟
تفضل حبيبي.
انت ذكرت من قبل انه ممكن احنا نضيف الرياض بتوين روم والمدينه الثانيه، بس هنا حسب الرولز صعب انه نضيف في المنتصف.
Exactly. ليش؟ لانه you are using stack. لكن if you are using linked list alone، شوف هنا ايش مشكلتنا احنا في هذه اخي الكريم، انت صح طبعا. queue as linked list. فانت now you are not using linked list. Now you are using queue. هذه فقط help او helpful item. فبالتالي yes you cannot add او delete from the middle. لكن في purely linked list you can add from anywhere you want. linked list اللي اخذناها قبل شويه هي. It can be added and inserted from anywhere you want. وصلت الفكره؟ فانت بس just be careful when you study, when you find a question in the exam, are we using linked list as an independent data structure or no? We are using queue as a linked list or using stack as a linked list.
الكيو هي اللي بتحدد الرولز.
بالضبط. وهنا مين حيحدد الرولز؟
الستاك.
Exactly. Double linked list. Can anyone tell me what does it mean? Double linked. كده just يعني ايش؟
Elements linked to each other.
ايوه. Now when I tell you رياض will point to دمام. عفوا دمام. ودمام points to حائل. حائل points to مدينة. So now
Like
you can tell, if you are in D, you can tell who is next. If you are in H, you can tell who is next. You cannot, again, you cannot state, determine who is previous. يعني you can say, yeah, I'm in حائل. What is the next station? Medina. Can I tell what was the previous one? No, you cannot. Unless you use double. Next previous. شوف الفرق الآن. So I have three data. Before we said only two. The item itself, what is next? Now I have three. I have to have three. What is next? What is the item? What is next? What is previous? هذه what is called double linked list data structure. Clear? Is it clear? واضحة? Any questions about it? Anything not clear? So, three type of data, the value itself, the element itself, what is next, what is previous.
It means we have two head?
مش two head. You will have still one head, but now who is previous, who is next. هذه هي المهمة. أول شوف لاحظ نرجع معليش لمصلحتكم. هنا شايف what it said. هنا أحسن شايف. I need to know the element what is next وthat's it. هذا يسموه single linked list. What is the element? What is next? So now A, what is the next? B, what is the next?
C.
C, what is the next? D. Can I know what is the previous? No. Because sometimes we might go next, but what is previous? I don't know. If you want to know, if it is required, then don't use single. Use double. So now you need the following. You need the element, you need the previous, you need the next. شفت الفرق الآن؟ There I need only two. I need the element and the next. No previous. Now I added one more, which is the previous. So that is the element, next, previous. Questions? Any questions so far? Insertion طبعا للأخ الكريم اللي سأل قبل شوية إنه I can add from anywhere. Yes, you can add since it is linked list, not stack, not queue. Now I have A, B, C. So I need to add something between B and C, which is Q مثلا. So simple one, just change the pointers. What is the now the next will be that one. What is the previous? It will be that one. So now that is the new one after adding that one. You can add from anywhere. Just update the links. Update the links. Next and the previous. You can add from anywhere. Delete from anywhere. From anywhere. Okay. All what you need, just update the links. Update the links. طبعا that will be exactly the same idea. If you insert you will update اللي هي next وال previous you will add the size by 1 because now insert. If you delete نفس الفكرة update the previous وال next and minus in reason because I removed. طبعا thank you أكيد for all, but if you want هنا يعني based on the email all of us received الquiz Thursday will cover lecture 2 and 3. يعني we just finished 3. So up to the last slide we took, that is the quiz number. طبعا lecture 1 كانت very simple و just general idea. Importance of Python, best jobs في USA إلى آخره. والله ما طلبوا مننا فمعناها they are maybe البي سي سي ما طلبوا مننا أي شيء لحد الآن فمعناها البي سي سي.
دكتور بيجينا الاوتبوت انه ايش الاوتبوت؟
والله شوف ما أعرف الأسئلة للأمانة من جد يعني من قال لا أدري فقد أفتاه ولا أتحرج إني أقول ما أعرف يعني ما عندي.
ما في مو كويز يا دكتور شيخان؟ مو كويز ما في؟
لا والله مو أنا لو أنا كان اختلف الوضع كان سويت لكم مو كويز لكن أنا والله I do my best يعني if there is something available I will show it to you. طبعا هنا واضح اللي هي اللهم صل على النبي الداتا ستراكشر حق هذا يعني ما أعرف إذا هو حاطط الأخ الكريم اللي هو مسؤول عن المادة ما أعرف إذا هو حاطط ولا لا بس يعني you can check يعني موجود عندكم بس أنا ما لي علاقة يعني ما طلبوا مننا أي شيء في هذا الموضوع حتى.
ما تعرف كم سؤال طيب يا تيتشر؟
لا والله لا بس يعني my guess إنه depends on the mark يعني إذا كانت 10 it will be يمكن 10.
والله 10 أسئلة ب 15 دقيقة.
والله كأنه كاتب نص ساعة صح ولا أنا غلطان؟
15 minutes to answer.
بس هو السؤال is it closing ولا ده اللي هو duration of the quiz؟ تتذكروا اللي كان
عندك 15 دقيقة عند
15 خلاص إذا مكتوب أنا والله ما okay it could be duration of the quiz. It could be duration of the quiz. أنا أدرك هذا في المكتب هناك عند المعامل في المعامل حياك الله معليش عفوا منكم. Okay, someone asked how to access books. طبعا نحن just to be sure that أتكلم in general all the books are considered now خلاص online depending on the slides, depending on PDF files, depending on so if there is something خلينا نشوف إذا كان نقدر نوصل لشيء معين. If there is something it should be in the CLMS. It should be there. ايش الساعة 14 كاتبين ايش الكويز 2 o'clock. any materials available supposed to be in طبعا هو بيجيبني بس لنفس هذا. ما اعرف المدرس ما اعتقد حاطها هو حاطط السلايدز اللي هو البي سي سي طبعا اتكلم only the slides announcement القديمه كلها طبعا yeah 15 minutes to answer the questions.
No makeup no makeup quiz.
لا حاطط الليكشر فقط هنا الليكشر لكن let's see CLMS. If there is something it will should be in the CLMS. هذه ما في إلا هذه slides if you can look for them and see what is there. تمام. Those who ask about the books you can check CLMS go to the visit all of that. تمام. until you find the things that you are looking for. طبعا لاحظوا هنا اللي هي ال computational problems. والله ما أعرف. It's either 6 if it is 5 quizzes, 10 if it is 3 quizzes. 3 quizzes. Okay, so that is the what is considered the ebook. You know, everything you will find it there. تمام, you will find it there. طيب, do you prefer that we start next one or it's enough today? It's up to you. Should we go to meeting 4 or leave it to Tuesday?
Leave it for Tuesday.
Leave it, دكتور.
Leave it?
Yeah, leave it please. We have work.
You have to work. خلاص. I respect that. خلاص. Then leave it to next meeting, inshallah. And if you don't have any questions, I am done. If you have questions, the rest can leave. If you want, طبعا, okay? The rest can leave unless you have a question. I am here for you. Go ahead. If you are done, then I am done. خلاص. We are in time وبالحمد لله يعني we are going exactly as scheduled يعني الحمد لله. جميعا إن شاء الله. والله شوف ما في, لكن هي most important things في الموضوع اللي هي as we said الstack, الqueue, linked list. Okay, what is the differences between these three? هذا اللي هو most important things. وزي ما اتفقنا, insert from where, delete from where, what are the most important applications of that one إلى آخره. Any questions? طيب, I'll wait for a few minutes. If you remember something, please let me know. Okay, if nothing, you can just leave. العفو حبيبي, العفو.
Thank you, doctor.
You're welcome. Wallah, I don't have a WhatsApp, but I heard last meeting someone. So أحد عنده WhatsApp يا جماعة, share it with your classmate. أحد هل في عملت WhatsApp group? Please share it in the. Yes, inshallah. The final exam, until I'm talking right now, I'm talking with you, it will be the same unless there's something out of my hand. It will be the same. It's already announced, I believe. It's already announced. It will be the same as the last semester. الله يعافيك, حياك الله. Okay, regarding the coding, nobody will ask you about write the complete code, but understand the idea. As I told you now, when you add to the stack, for example, so now how many items do you have? Only one. So when you add, it should be at the top plus one, so now you have two items. Okay, so just the algorithm of that one. And inshallah, I will send you, inshallah, binillah ta'ala, a program that it will give you a good idea, inshallah, binillah ta'ala. Inshallah. But I don't believe that you are asked to write a code because all the questions is true, false, multiple choice only. Okay, and, but you need to understand the idea, the concept itself, the algorithm itself. But all questions just multiple choice, true, false. Okay. No codes. You will not write any codes in the process. ممكن they will ask you والله I don't know about the nature of the question how it is at the end multiple choice true false, so you will not need to like مثلا write something, okay, or display something. No, all what you need, just read the question, then you let's say NQ مثلا something, so what is the output will be, is there any return value, something like that. I don't know about the nature of the question itself because I didn't see it. In general, yes. Not as a computer language. They will not ask you like they ask you, for example, for M105 or M251. No. It is just you will apply the ideas using Python. And I remember data structure, all data structure, M108, they used